Sir, it was all one. It made no difference to her. Whether strangers were in front of her or her husband was in front of her, whatever, wherever she was, at home, outside, it made hardly any difference to her. She was all smiling, all active, all lively, all impressed with anything and everything. My favorite, her breast, the dropping of the daylight in the west, the buff of the cherries some official fools broke in the orchard for her, the white mule she rode with round the tents. Whatever it be, whether I complimented her for something, or the sunset, or someone broke cherries for her, or the white mule she rode, all were but one. She would not differentiate between my compliment and the compliment of a stranger, or for example, my compliment and the compliment of a servant. Everyone was same and same and same for her. So, as the speaker gives us more account of this, his wife, his Duchess, we feel that he is more disgusted at her approach or at her character. And remember the background that I gave you about Lucrezia and Alfonso II. Next he says, all and each would draw from her a like and approving speech or blush at least. Everybody, would bring out of her same kind of a reaction, same kind of blush, or same kind of speech. No difference to whether it was her husband or it was a stranger. She thanked men. She would thank every man. Now she thanked men, then there's a pause. Good. This is something that he didn't like. A female wasn't supposed to thank men, but she did so. And then there is good with a mark of exclamation. With a heavy heart does he say, good. But thanked, somehow I know not how. It's good she thanked, but how did she thank? I know not. That is, I like not the way she thanked. I know not how means I like not the way she thanked. As if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift. She thanked men around in such a manner that I had no reputation of mine. She didn't realize that I had given her the gift of a name. Now that makes the context of the poem more stronger. As I said earlier, that Lucrezia, who was married to Alfonso II, belonged to a lower class family. So what Alfonso II, who was the Duke of Ferrara, he had given her his name. And here he is asserting that I had given her the gift of 900 years old name. And what she did not respect it. She took it for granted as if it was anybody's gift, as if it had nothing in it. My 900 years old name was worth nothing, that she would keep on smiling for anyone and would be ranking me with anybody and any person, whether he is of my status or he is not of my status. Even had you skill in speech, which I am not, to make your will quite clear to such a oneness. There are people, now this is a strange kind of words here. Here he says that there are people who are outspoken and they can give their commands, but I am not the one. I am not the one. And had I been the one, what would have I said? Just this or that in you disgusts me. I would have said that, see, you should not smile at any stranger. You should not have a glance of any stranger. You must not be impressed by any stranger. But I am not such kind of a person. Had I been, I would have said this. Or I would have said, for example, here you miss, or there exceeds the mark. I would have said that you have not respected me, here you miss, and you have exceeded the mark, you have gone beyond your limitations. You are not keeping a close look at my worth, at my respect, at my family, at my name. You are ignoring all these things. I would have said all those things to her. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her. I do not say that she didn't smile by looking at me. She did. Whenever I passed in front of her, she smiled. But who passed without much the same smile? But she smiled in this way for everyone. There was not a person who passed in front of her and she didn't smile at her. She smiled at everyone. So it made no difference if he smiled by looking at me, or she smiled when I passed in front of her. It made no difference. This grew. Now I was fed up with all this that she was doing. It grew out of the limits. And as it did, I gave commands. Then all smiles stopped together. I gave commands. Now these commands are not what he had just spoken few lines earlier. That if I had the art of articulation or speech, I would have straight away told her that such way of behavior of yours is not acceptable in front of me. You should not do this, you should not do that. These are not the commands that he's talking here. When he says that I gave the commands, these are, I ordered her death. As I said earlier in context that Alfonso II, when he got married to Lucrezia, and when Lucrezia died, the reason of her death was considered to be the poisoning. So this case that I gave commands, maybe that I gave commands to poison her, I gave commands to murder her, I gave commands to kill her. As I gave commands, all the smiles stopped again. Now she is not going to smile for anyone. Now she won't be smiling at everyone. All those smiles have stopped, means she has died. There she stands as if alive. So once I give commands, now she is in the portrait. She is not alive, but as if she is alive. Look at the picture. Again, he is repeating this phrase, this verse second time as if she is alive, which insinuates that she is not alive, she is dead, but she was dead only after I give commands. Next, will it please you rise? We'll meet the company below. Then I repeat, if it's enough, that was the account of my last Duchess. Now if it pleases you, let's go downwards and meet the company. Now the company about which he is now referring to are the new relatives, are the new persons who have come to arrange the marriage between the speaker and Barbara. That would be Alfonso II and Barbara. Now Count of Tyrol has come there, and we have a courier, and he's telling him to accompany him downstairs and let's have a talk about the new engagement. But then he says that I repeat, but keep one thing in mind. What? The Count, your master's non-munificence is ample warrant that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed. Now he's talking about the Count, and this would be Ferdinand II, who was made in charge of the marriage between Alfonso II and Barbara. Now he's giving a reference to him, and he says that he is an extremely generous kind of a person. Munificence means generous kind of a person. Now since he is generous enough, if I demand dowry, I hope that it won't be disallowed. Now he is again hitting at another social evil that would have existed in the Victorian England, that was of the dowry, and he says that if I ask for dowry, I hope that is not disallowed. Though his fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting, is my object. Now I know that I'm concerned with the daughter. I need only daughter. As I have said earlier, avowed means admit something publicly. I have admitted publicly that I'm interested only in his daughter, but what? Nay, we'll go together down, sir. Let's go together. Let's go down and talk to the people who have arrived. Notice Neptune though taming a seahorse. But as he goes now, he is referring to an image, to a picture. It should be like, come, let's go. But see, this has been given me as a gift, and it's very expensive. Now he is referring to the painting, saying that it's not like that I am asking you for the dowry. I have got enough wealth with me. But if I do, I hope that's not disallowed. and loud. Now, he is playing a very smart game here when he says, notice Neptune. This Neptune is a painting which he has there, and there he has a horse on it. Thought a rarity which Klaus of Innsbruck cast in bronze. For me, this painting is not something that you will get every now and then everywhere, but this was in particularly made for me by Klaus of Innsbruck, which is a fictional painter that he is referring to here, and it's very expensive. I owe such a painting. Though I am rich, I am of the upper class, I need only your daughter, but make sure if I ask you for the dowry, I mustn't be disappointed or disallowed, because your master, the count, I have heard is a generous enough a person. Now that was the poem My Last Duchess.